Monday morning. Wow. It hits different, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah?
Like you've just run this mental marathon all weekend, but without actually going anywhere.
That's a feeling I think a lot of our listeners can probably relate to, getting ready for the week.
Okay, so let's actually unpack that feeling, because today on the deep dive, that's exactly what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
We're not, digging through grammar books. Nope. We're listening in on the real rhythm of everyday American English conversations.
Kind of like being a fly on the wall for how people really talk.
Exactly. It's about uncovering those unspoken rules, the cultural stuff baked into just normal interactions.
Right. And our material for this comes from Master American English Real Life Conversation.
Which is just fantastic. It's full of dialogues, covering all those little moments we go through every day.
They're like snapshots, really, of real communication.
Yeah.
Gives you a peek into how people connect.
So our mission today, it's pretty simple, really. We want to equip you, our listener, with phrases you can actually use.
And a better feel, a better understanding of how native English speakers, how they interact in different situations.
Yeah, we want those aha moments, but without the textbook headache,
We're trying to decode what's going on beneath the surface of just casual chat.
Okay, so where do we start with all this? Well, maybe the most universal thing. The Monday morning slump.
Makes sense.
Our source has some perfect examples. First one, that classic water cooler chat. Complaining about how the weekend just vanished.
Ah, yes, the Monday morning ritual.
Totally. So someone mentions hoping for an easy week, and the response is just, dream on. That little bit of shared, sarcastic realism.
Mm-hmm. Acknowledging the reality.
Then you get that great phrase, I feel like a zombie. It just paints such a clear picture, right? That Monday fog.
It really does.
And the lifeline, coffee is my only hope today.
Which immediately gets the same here.
Yeah. That instant connection over shared, exhaustion. What's that telling us?
Well, it kind of points to how Americans often find common ground, even in, shared struggles. That's right. That quick agreement, it builds a bit of camaraderie, especially at work.
Then there's the weekend recap. One watched football, the other was cleaning. And this funny offer comes up. I would have brought pizza and helped by eating while you clean.
Which is absurd, of course, but it's playful.
Yeah.
It's a way to connect, show some empathy, using humor about, boring chores.
And then work reality bites back. I also had to finish a report last night. My brain is officially fried. Another relatable moment pushing through deadlines.
Mm-hmm.
The whole chat wraps up with a cheers to surviving another Monday and that hopeful wish. May the coffee be strong and the meetings be short.
Yeah, it really sums up the shared feeling, doesn't it? Like a verbal nod, okay, we're in this together. Let's hope for the best.
Okay, so from shared tiredness, let's shift to another office staple. The printer. The printer that never works.
The eternal struggle.
The conversation starts, hopefully, I wonder if the printer's been fixed yet.
And immediately gets shot down with another dream on.
Seems like printer problems are just a fact of office life.
That repetition of dream on, it shows this sort of resigned acceptance, doesn't it? Yep, this again.
Totally. And then the printer gets blamed personally. That printer hates Mondays more than we do, and later, this printer, hates me again.
It's funny how we do that, right? Projecting our frustration onto the machine.
We do. So someone offers help, but the printer's still being difficult, making clicking noises.
And then the teasing starts.
Yeah, relax. It's probably a paper jam because you shoved a book into it, which gets denied. It was only a page.
Followed by the classic, someone didn't read the manual. It's just typical office banter. Why do you think we do that?
Well, it's kind of like...
It lightens the mood, maybe. Diffuses the frustration a bit. Plus, it builds those little inside jokes, that shared office culture.
Right. And who reads the manual anyway? Apparently, wise people and people who want their paychecks printed on time.
Ah, good point.
Then the plea, just fix it, you tech genius.
Does.
Which is how we ask for help sometimes, isn't it? With a bit of playful flattery.
Definitely.
And the helper plays along, watch and learn, fixes it quickly, leading to the impressed, how did you do that? It's magic!
It wraps up with that funny request for payment. Now, about my payment here. Real talk here. What's that real talk here doing at the end?
Good question.
Well, even though it's still jokey, real talk here kind of signals a shift. Okay, getting aside for a sec, even if it's still part of the joke, it adds a little emphasis.
Got it. Okay, one more Monday morning scene. The new employee's first day. Always a bit nerve-wracking.
Oh, yeah, navigating the basics.
It starts so simply, is this door locked? And the answer is just dryly, nope, it just says push.
Been there.
The newcomer tries to cover, testing the security system and gets the witty comeback. Very secure, especially from you. What's going on there?
Well, it kind of sets the office vibe, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's helpful, but with a side of gentle teasing. The established person is maybe showing a bit of seniority, but also like welcoming them in a slightly jokey way.
Makes sense. Then the new person sighs, "Why is everything fighting me today?" and gets some advice. "First day, energy man. The office can smell fear."
Which is a funny kind of metaphorical way to talk about those first day nerves.
Totally. Then the tech stuff. "Log in with your email. Not mine. We're not that close." A light boundary, but clear.
Mm-hmm.
The newbie quickly says, "I swear I'm not hacking you," which gets the funny reply. "Good. I've got 99 dumb memes and 0 secrets. Boom, I'm in." That meme reference helps, right?
Yeah, it definitely does. It's like using shared pop culture to bridge the gap, make things feel a bit more relaxed.
But the easy part's over fast. Calm down, Matrix. That was the easy part. There's a lot here. Like, a lot. A lot.
Oh boy, overwhelmed already.
But then comes reassurance, mixed with realism. "Relax, you won't do it all today or this week or maybe ever."
And the newbie's response is just perfect. Okay, that's oddly comforting. So relatable.
So relatable. Then more real talk here before the key advice. Ask questions before doing anything. Better to ask than crash the entire computer system.
And sharing that little anecdote about crashing the system once. That was one time I was just trying to be helpful. That makes the advice feel more real, less preachy.
Exactly. It ends with encouragement. "You'll do fine. Take a breath. Ask when you're stuck. And don't pull doors that say push, lesson learned, push forward, literally and in life."
Wow, getting deep there.
Right. Leading to the final comment, "Look at you, dropping life quotes already. You'll fit right in." What's the real takeaway from that whole interaction?
I think it shows how even these, like, casual chats at work can be moments of mentoring. The experienced person isn't just giving tech help. They're signaling, "Hey, you belong here. We'll help you figure it out."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from feeling like zombies to fighting printers and navigating first days, that's a slice of Monday. But the workday goes on, right? Let's look at some broader workplace interactions,
Okay.
starting with something we've probably all experienced, being late for work.
That awkward walk of shame tests your apology skill.
Totally. We hear the employees saying, "Good morning, Mr. Blake. I'm really sorry I'm late today."
And the manager's direct. It's 9.15. This is your second time this week, isn't it?
Ouch. The employee gives the classic reasons: bus, traffic. It was just one of those mornings.
And the manager has to balance understanding with the rules, right? I understand that things happen, but we started 9 sharp here. Being late can affect the team.
The apology comes again. "Yes, I completely understand. I didn't mean to be careless. I just messed up my timing." Showing remorse.
Mm-hmm. And the manager acknowledges they're new, but reinforces the point. "Ally, I know you're new, but being punctual is important. It set the tone."
The promise, "I understand. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again." That's key.
And the manager offering help with transport, that shows some support too. It
Yeah.
ends relatively positively. So what's the communication lesson there?
Well, it seems like it's about finding that balance, acknowledging the person's issue with still holding the line on professional expectations.
Yeah, that sounds right. Understanding, but firm.
Okay, next up, getting feedback after a presentation. That moment of truth.
Always a bit nerve-wracking.
The manager starts. "Thanks for coming in, Mark. Wanted to talk a bit about your presentation."
And you can just hear the nerves in Mark's reply. I hope it was okay. I tried my best.
But the manager leads with the positive. "You did a good job overall. I liked your structure. Visual slides, they were clear." Why start like that? It's pretty common, right?
Oh, definitely. Starting positive helps the person relax a little, makes them more open to hearing the constructive parts. It feels more like help than just criticism.
Right. Then Mark actually brings up his own worry. "Oh, thank you. I was worried I spoke too fast."
And the manager gently confirms it. "Actually, that's one thing I wanted to mention. You were a bit rushed. It's important to give people time to understand."
Mark gets it. Right, I see. I think I was a bit nervous.
And the manager normalizes it. "That's totally normal. Public speaking takes practice. You're getting better already." More encouragement.
Yeah. Then Mark asks, "Anything else I should improve?" Which is great. Very proactive.
Leading to the suggestion about using more examples.
Mark sums it up. "Got it. Use more real-life examples and speak slower." And the manager confirms, "You're on the right track. Don't be too hard on yourself. Practice makes perfect."
It ends with Mark appreciating the feedback and the manager offering ongoing support. What does that show about good feedback in, like, an American workplace?
It seems like it's about being specific,
I-
balancing the good with the areas for improvement, and giving really actionable advice.
And that focus on practice and getting better over time seems typical too.
Definitely. Okay, shifting gears, announcing a change. A new digital clock-in system.
Always popular.
The meeting starts with a bit of humor to soften the blow. All right, team, don't worry, no one's getting fired yet.
Which gets a little pushback. Not helping, Dan.
The news is delivered straight. Starting next Monday, we'll be using the new digital system.
And immediately, the playful skepticism. So the robots are taking over.
Exactly. Then the details GPS tracking leading to jokes about phones forgetting locations and paychecks forgetting hours.
Then practical questions about lunch breaks, coffee runs, addressed with more humor, like the cardio time bit.
But the manager brings it back to the benefits. Fairness, accuracy, avoiding confusion.
Even though one person misses the old paper log, the message is clear. Save your tears. Why all the humor when rolling out changes?
Good question. What do you think?
Well, maybe it helps lower resistance, makes a change seem less scary or imposed, lets people voice concerns lightly, keeps the mood okay during a potentially stressful thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, next scenario. Oops, sent the wrong report. Chaos ensues.
Oh no, we've all had that mini heart attack.
The conversation starts urgently. On the same page, please tell me you didn't send last week's report to Miss Laura.
And the reply is worryingly casual. Oh, I might have. It had numbers, looked important.
Leading to the crisis point. She just emailed me asking why the charts still show February. It's April, Tony. April.
The slow dawning realization,
Yeah.
oh, I see the issue now.
Which gets the sarcastic response. You see it. That's great. Should we all just send random files and hope for the best?
Then the defense. Hey, I thought that was the final one. You never said.
But the file was literally named final. I thought that was a joke. That phrase on the same page is central here, isn't it?
Absolutely. It highlights exactly where things went wrong, the lack of shared understanding, clear communication, especially with important stuff.
An apology is offered, but the frustration leads to these funny threats about living on a mountain and bringing Wi-Fi problems.
And then practical steps to fix it, followed by more jokey threats about sticky notes on foreheads.
It ends with fair and asking permission first, plus a random bit about cookies. What's the point of all that banter after the mistake?
Again, it probably helps diffuse the tension, right? Lets them vent a bit without a real fight, and kind of reestablishes that they're still a team, still okay despite the error.
Okay, makes sense. Now let's tackle the missed deadline follow-up.
Another classic workplace moment.
The question is direct. Hey, Jessica, do you have the report? You know the one due yesterday.
And the response is pure stalling. Funny story. It's almost done. Almost like 70%, maybe 65% if the Wi-Fi is being dramatic.
But there's a meeting in 2 hours. The pressure's on.
Then the excuses pile up.
Yeah.
Emails, printer jam, the cat walking on the keyboard.
The manager's losing patience. Yeah. You promised me Tuesday, it's Thursday.
And Jessica admits it. I admit it, I totally dropped the ball. I took on too much work this week.
The manager spells out the impact. When you miss a deadline, it lands on me, and I'm out of excuses.
Jessica promises to fix it urgently. No lunch, no coffee, just me, the report, and regret. Dramatic.
A bit. The manager softens slightly, but stays firm. Okay. No need to starve. Just get it done. 3.0 Z sharp. No cat excuses, just results.
It ends with commitment. We heard drop the ball there. What's that idiom really saying?
It's such a common one.
Yeah, it just means you messed up, failed to do something you were supposed to, and usually it negatively affects someone else. Really highlights the seriousness here.
Okay, next. Asking a coworker for a favor. Always a delicate operation.
Can be, yeah.
It starts hesitantly. Lee, got a minute.
And gets an immediate shutdown. Oh my God, no.
Before anything's even asked, the explanation. Last time you looked at me this friendly, I ended up buying your lunch. Clearly, there's history.
Exactly. That funny refusal tells you they have a dynamic, maybe one where favors cost something.
The asker keeps trying, guessing the reason car trouble, doctor.
Leading to this elaborate, obviously fake story about concert tickets and a cat needing the vet right before a long weekend.
But the coworker calls him out, mentioning the cat's Instagram. Sunbathing. Hilarious.
Finally, the real reason comes out, the concert tickets.
And a deal is struck. Covering the shift, buying lunch for a week, sealed with deal, and you're the greatest coworker ever? What's this interaction show us?
Well, it shows that asking for favors at work can involve this kind of negotiation, teasing, and an understanding of, like, unspoken give and take. Personal relationships definitely mix with the professional stuff.
Definitely. Okay, last workplace scenario. That dreaded late-day urgent client request.
Ugh. Just when you thought you were done.
The first reaction says it all. Well, there go my evening plans.
Then the joking guess, wrong report again,
Hmm.
before the bad news hits. Urgent request, due tomorrow morning.
The reaction is pure denial at first. No. No, I refuse. I already mentally clocked out.
Shared misery. Mentally, I think I'm emotionally clocked out after lunch.
Even a funny attempt to dodge it. Tell them I got kidnapped.
They complain about the unfair timing, the contrast between the dream overtime, pizza jokes, and the reality charts panic.
But then the offer of pizza as a motivator if the other person does the presentation.
And they reluctantly agree, framing it as two tired warriors, one impossible deadline.
They negotiate the small comforts music, coffee with emotional support.
Feeling like they're pulling an all-nighter, it ends with caffeine prep. What's key about how they react together?
It really shows that teamwork kicking in, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Despite being annoyed, they rally, use humor, support each other to face the challenge. Resilience.
Okay, so we've seen a lot of the work grind. But life isn't all office chairs and printers. Let's shift to personal news and celebrations.
Good idea.
Starting with pure joy, sharing amazing job news.
Those big moments you want to share.
You hear the excitement. Jake, I have the biggest news ever, the friend notices. You're glowing, Emma. What's up?
And the news. I got the job. The marketing one. Met with huge enthusiasm. Are you serious? That's incredible. You must be over the moon.
Over the moon, perfect idiom for that level of happiness.
Totally captures it.
Then the details come out, impressed with ideas, starting Monday. Big project, top floor office with a view.
And the playful response about buying coffee adds that nice celebratory touch. What's this show about sharing good news?
It really underscores how important that enthusiastic, supportive reaction is, right? Using expressive words, celebrating together.
Yeah, it amplifies the joy.
Okay, now let's travel a bit. Our source takes us to a hometown festival, exploring culture.
A different kind of interaction.
The visitor is impressed.
Wow, Silas, your hometown is so beautiful, so lively.
Silas explains the tradition, the community magic. Then attention turns to the greasy pole climbing contest.
Sounds difficult. The visitor thinks it looks impossible.
And surprise, Silas reveals he's competing, with a bit of playful confidence. Don't underestimate me, just cheer loudly.
And then, victory. Scarlett, did you see that? I won! Met with cheers.
He gets the prize, a symbol of local values, courage, strength, and then gives it away.
Right, to Scarlett, leading to the big declaration. Scarlett, actions speak louder than words. I need to tell everyone that you're my lover. That idiom, actions speak louder than words. What's its impact here?
Well, in this moment, it really elevates the gesture. Giving away something so meaningful, tied to his achievement and culture, becomes this powerful, tangible expression of his feelings, supposedly stronger than just saying, I love you.
Wow, okay. Shifting again, trying new things, or maybe revisiting old ones like picking up an instrument you used to play.
That mix of nostalgia and hesitation. You hear it. Oh, I can't believe I'm doing this after so many years.
But the friend encourages. Christine, it's never too late. You loved playing the violin. Why not give it another shot?
The fear is real, though. I used to be so good. What if I can't even play a single note now?
And then comes that great idiom. Better late than never, right? It's better to try now than to regret never trying at all. So motivating.
It really is. She tries and gets positive feedback. See? You still got it. Just a little practice.
Leading to her hopeful conclusion. Thanks, Liam. I guess it's never too late to start over. What's the power of better late than never there?
It just cuts through that feeling of, oh, it's too late, I missed my chance, doesn't it?
Yeah, it counters regret, encourages you to just go for something that brings you joy no matter how long it's been.
Okay, so we've heard idioms pop up naturally, but let's focus on a few common ones our source highlights. Understanding these is key for natural English, right?
Absolutely crucial. They're everywhere, and the meaning isn't literal. You have to know the phrase.
First, call it a day, meaning simply stop working for the day. Used here after finishing painting.
Simple, common. Then, a piece of cake, meaning something that's very easy. Used when Helen reassures Oliver about baking.
Right. Next, let the cat out of the bag to reveal a secret, like when Sophia tells Noah about his sister's surprise visit.
Oops. Then, caught between two stools, which means you can't decide between two options, like Anna being unsure about adding cheese. Sounds painful.
Huh. And finally, go with the flow, being flexible, accepting things, used when they miss a train and just adjust their plans.
All really useful everyday idioms. Knowing them makes a huge difference in understanding conversations.
For sure. Okay, let's look at some quicker encounters, brief expressions.
Little snippets of interaction.
We hear a traveler excited about Russia, getting the polite farewell, enjoy yourself, standard, friendly.
Then a funny case of mistaken identity, someone looks like another person, follows the same routine. Happens all the time.
We hear, may you succeed, a bit more formal, wishing someone luck in a singing competition.
In a shop, helping a customer. It's my pleasure. Very polite. And urging someone, please come as soon as possible. Shows urgency.
And an apology for being late because of terrible rain, described as raining cats and dogs. Another great idiom.
Met with hope so, and another, please come as soon as possible. What do these little bits show us?
They really just highlight the everyday politeness, the well-wishing, using the right phrase for the right context, from casual to formal, quick requests, apologies.
Language adapting to the situation.
Exactly. Okay, our final theme. Dealing with setbacks and offering support. Tougher moments.
Important conversations.
We hear about someone going bankrupt. The reaction is sympathetic. What a pity for him and hopeful. I hope he can get over his shock and start again.
Then there's encouragement before a big presentation. Phrases like, I will try my level best, but also, don't be so pressured, take it easy, don't panic, trying to manage that stress.
Yeah, acknowledging the pressure but advising calm. The person recognizes they have chances but still need to try. There is no reason to worry so much.
Ending with, you are so brave in my eyes. Real encouragement.
Then reacting to a surprise breakup, disbelief. What nonsense? Are you kidding me? Especially after thinking they were madly in love.
Shows how we react to shocking news. Then a talk about a birthday present, managing expectations. Don't be ridiculous, but also, as long as it's reasonable, we will consider it again. Finding a middle ground.
And finally, hearing about someone facing multiple hardships described really poignantly. Every moment weighed heavily on him. What do these examples show about communicating in tough times?
Well, they show the different ways we try to connect, right? Offering sympathy, encouragement, trying to manage stress, expressing shock, negotiating expectations, or just acknowledging deep suffering. Language trying to bridge difficult moments.
All right, let's kind of pull this all together. We've taken quite a dive into everyday American English conversations today.
A real range, from work stress to personal joys and challenges.
Yeah, you've heard how people handle the office, celebrate wins, deal with problems, use those common phrases, support each other.
And hopefully listeners have seen how these, seemingly simple chats are full of cultural signals, unspoken stuff, real communication strategies.
Exactly. The goal was to give you a better toolkit, practical phrases, but also that deeper sense of how native speakers convey feelings and meanings. Maybe you had some of those aha moments yourself.
You might notice how, say, the directness in some work talks differs from the more indirect or supportive talk in personal situations. Those shifts show different dynamics at play.
So think about it. Which scenarios felt familiar to you? How could you maybe use some of these phrases? What other situations make you curious about how English works in real life?
And maybe think about what made some interactions feel really effective. Was it the clarity, the support, the humor, what worked?
And finally, maybe just ponder how much communication is really happening beyond the words. All that invisible context, the shared culture, the unspoken understandings that shape how we actually connect. Definitely something to think about.